Hello, this is Kate from Daily Tarot Girl, and this is your weekly tarot card reading. And for this week's reading, I am using the Ember and Aura Tarot by Jamie Richardson. All right, so before I get into the reading, I want to let you know this is super short notice, so by the time you see this, it might have already happened, but I'm going to be live on my YouTube channel on Saturday at 1 p.m. So I'm filming this on a Friday, so tomorrow, 1 p.m. with my friend Will from the Atypical Tarot YouTube channel. And we are going to be chatting about tarot, and we're going to be drawing cards for people. So if you want to come hang out with us, we might draw a card for you, and it's going to be lots of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. So I'll put the link just below this video if you want to check it out. And of course, there'll be a replay. So if you want to watch the replay, that will be available too. All right. So my intention with these 3 cards is to get an overview of the week ahead and get some ideas and insights into the upcoming week. So the first card we have is for the beginning of the week. So kind of like Monday, Tuesday-ish. And we're starting off with the 9 of Cups. Now, what's interesting about this card is that the 9 of Cups, on the one hand, it is a very abundant card. It's a card of abundance and having everything you need and everything you could have hoped for, everything you could have wished for, having all of that. But it's also sometimes kind of almost like a lonely card. And I love how it's illustrated in this particular deck because we see there's this beautiful lush tree with all these cups, but this tree is an island and it's isolated. It's all by itself and it's surrounded by water. And I'm just going to gaze at this card and let it sink in and see what comes to me. The 9 of Cups asks you to It asks the question, are the things that you're striving for and wishing for, are these truly the things that you actually want? And the things that you're putting your energy and attention on, are these things that help you feel connected? Or are these things that will make you feel isolated? Are they things that make you feel a sense of expansion in the world? Like, do you feel expansive when you put your attention on these things? Or does it make you feel contractive? Does it make you feel relaxed and at ease to focus on these things? Or do you feel tense? So this is just an interesting thing to ask yourself. So thinking about, what is it that you're striving towards? If you are in fact striving towards something, what is it that you're trying to do or trying to make happen? Or what are you putting a lot of time and effort and energy into? And is that something that allows you to connect with others or connect with yourself? Is it something that allows you to feel a sense of expansion? Or is it something that makes you feel more contracted and isolated? And just being aware of that, I think, is going to be important as you enter this week. Now let's have a look at the middle of the week. So this is for Wednesday, Thursday-ish. And here we have the 3 of Coins. And what I love here is this is a different image from the first card. The first card, we have this tree all by himself floating on this little floating island in the ocean. Here we have 3 hands and they're all grasping each other. The 3 of Coins is about collaboration, and I get the message that doing it alone this week is not going to be what works for you. Connecting with others and doing things as a team or doing things in a collaborative way is what is going to bring satisfaction and success this week. So seeing if you can, however this is playing out in your life, seeing, if you're working on a project or whatever's going on for you, how can you collaborate with others? How can you move a little bit away from trying to do everything all by yourself, and trying to rely on yourself for ideas and solutions and whatnot? And how can you expand outward and connect with others and collaborate and help others? How can you reach out and share your gifts and your talents and your skills and abilities with other people in your life? I feel like we're stronger when we come together and generously share our skills and ideas and abilities. That's the message I get with the Three of Coins. I also feel like the Three of Coins symbolizes doing meaningful work. And it isn't necessarily about the work itself that you're doing, but the way in which you're doing the work. So let's say you're working on some sort of project with a group of people. It isn't necessarily the project itself that's important, but the act of working together and coming together that will make it feel so rewarding. That's what I get with this card. Let's look at the card for the end of the week. We have 10 of Wands. For the weekend, so kind of like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And this is so interesting because the 10 of Wands, and here, I love the image, like we've got a bunch of hands on one side and hands on the other side, putting their wands into the air and they're kind of crossing. 10 of Wands traditionally would show someone like walking up a hill with a bunch of wands or kind of struggling to carry this big load of wands. And often when the 10 of Wands comes up, it's because we're taking on too much and we're trying to do everything by ourselves. So again, this is interesting. It's like if the advice of the Three of Coins is not heeded and we remain as this sort of isolated Nine of Cups figure, we can start to feel the pressures of trying to do it all by ourselves and remaining isolated as we try to make everything work and make everything come together. And so if you're feeling exhausted by the weekend, and not like a good exhaustion, like sometimes when you've been working on something that is important to you and that's meaningful to you, you may be tired, but it's like a good kind of tired. Whereas if you're working towards something that's really depleting your energy in a very negative kind of way, you can just feel overwhelmed and tired and exhausted in this really like depleted way. Like your energy is just draining out of you. Like someone's pulled your plug and you're just like draining, losing energy. So the 10 of Wands asks you to check in with yourself on the weekend and see, how do you feel? If you feel energized, and maybe you feel a bit tired, but it might be a good kind of tired, like the kind of tired when you like finished lifting weights and you're kind of sore and tired, but it's a good feeling. If that's the way you're feeling, I feel like you've made a lot of good decisions this week and you've kind of heeded the message of these cards this week. But if you feel utterly drained, you're just like, oh, I feel so overwhelmed and so exhausted. And there's so many things I have to think about and so many balls to keep in the air. If that's how you're feeling, you might want to kind of revisit what I said about the Nine of Cups. And you may want to, the reason you might feel so exhausted and drained is because you're trying to do everything by yourself and you're forgetting that there are others out there. You can connect with others. You can brainstorm with others. You can help each other. And I feel like that is the secret to this week. I think the more isolated we are, the more we try to do everything by ourselves, the more tired we're going to feel and the less satisfied we're going to feel. And the more we kind of come together and collaborate with others, and help others this week, the more energized we're going to feel. It just feels like trying to do everything yourself is not going to be sustainable this week. And if you want to sort of refresh your energy and keep things moving, collaborating with others coming together with others is the key. And of course, there's all kinds of things that really suck about working with other people, like having to deal with other people's personalities and people's quirks and stuff like that, that can be draining in their own right. But this week, it feels like that is in some ways kind of the magic ticket to keeping our energy levels high and remaining, in a more expansive, energized kind of state as opposed to feeling drained and exhausted. Okay, let's look at all 3 cards. I just want to see if there's anything else that I might have missed. I think I've said everything. So I want to invite you to share your own thoughts on these cards. Let me know if there was a particular thing I said that made sense to you, that resonated. If you have a different take on these cards or a similar take, feel free to share. If you want to share, if there's one card in particular that's speaking to you or a particular symbol that you found really interesting, feel free. I'm just noticing the 9 of Cups is interesting because there's this tree and it's floating on an island, and I'm just thinking about the roots. The roots have nothing to really ground down into if this is a floating island. And so it almost feels like when you try to do everything by yourself, it's like you don't have anything to root into. You're going to feel kind of like you're floating on a little island in the middle of the ocean trying to find a sense of direction. That's what I get with this card. So kind of a challenging message in a way with these cards, I think, because I think, especially for me, I'm a pretty independent person and I don't really like asking for help or collaborating with others very much. So this message will be challenging for me to kind of put into practice. But yeah, so I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found this reading helpful. If you want to learn more about tarot card reading, you can check out my website, dailytarotgirl.com. I'm going to put the link below. I've got lots of free tarot learning resources for you to check out. And I have also created a court card cheat sheet. And it's a fun cheat sheet for the court cards. If you're interested in downloading it, I'm going to put a link to that just under this video. And yeah, check it out. So have a great week. Bye-bye.